probably never met a Dalish before, have you?
I wouldn't know.
I'm sure you'd be able to tell. Dalish aren't much like the elves in the cities.
The smug sense of superiority does give you away.
They're so big and grim. What do you suppose would happen if I tickled one of them?
I seek any information on suspected apostates.
I'm looking for some cargo.
You're in luck. Cargo all around. Take your pick.
A laborer with a smart mouth. You hardly ever see those.
What do you want?
I'm looking for crates sealed by the Orlesian Port Authority.
Haven't seen any. Sorry.
Talk to the harbour master. I'll bet he's got information about your cargo. He's in his office.
Hey, if you're done wagging your tongue, can we get those sacks off the docks?
Right, come in.
Just don't ask where anything came from.
I think the Canary is spying on us.
Something of yours, sir.
I have long since paid my debt over this. It's grand to see it again.
Break my back on these docks, son of a...
Only job that will have me. Figures.
Shipping manifest?
I think I lost it.
Well, then you can't bring your goods in. Viscount's rules, not mine.
You should take credit for those rules.
Ugh. Adam, deal with this.
I apologize on Liam's behalf. He is a very, very busy man. I'm Adam, the Harbour Master's assistant. I understand you're looking for a Legion cargo. I have seen the crates. I can't remember where. Such a shame.
I can't imagine what you mean.
The clink of gold coin often jogs my memory.
They say your life flashes in front of your eyes before you die.
You're not going to kill me in broad daylight. No one's that stupid.
Is this enough to help you remember?
Ah, it's coming back to me. The cargo is in Alton Woodrow's warehouse, by the dock. I'm glad we could help each other out.
Go away, human. This ground is ours by treaty.
Repent.
There's someone coming. Tell the others. This is private property.
What are you guarding?
Imported goods.
Who owns this warehouse?
Master Woodrow, I suppose. It's rented storage space.
Let's see what's behind that door.
No visitors allowed.
I must have taken a wrong turn.
Be off with you, then.
Bugger off!
Shut your mouth, you bitch.
Shit! We're under attack!
Now that's just rude. What are they trying to do? Ruin my boots? We're good to go.
Tread lightly around here.
Piece of cake. Watch where you step. I love doing that.
I wouldn't breathe that in if I were you. Looks like Martin's trading in death.
Bugger off!
So, Isabella, you're a captain.
That's right, big girl. What of it?
I don't remember your name on any registries. Every ship that docks has to declare.
I never docked. And you're no port authority.
And you are no merchant.
Ooh, scrutiny.
You're smuggling poison. I thought you were trying to change your ways.
I got the stuff from a legitimate supplier, and I'm going to sell it through legitimate channels. It's all legitimate.
It's poison. It kills people.
I just sell it. I'm not responsible for what people do with it. So, where is it?
Do you know where Alton Woodrow's warehouse is?
Merchant Woodrow's place. I know it. Thanks for this, friend. You've more than earned your reward. I'm gonna get my goods. You come back once I'm set up, I'll give you a discount.
May the words of my...
Well, Captain. Can I call you Captain? You can call me Captain.
I won't be doing that.
Neither will I. Because you're a guard captain. No real authority. Not like on a ship.
Well, you would know about having a large number of men under you.
You've been waiting to use that one. Did you practice?
Shut up.
Did you misplace this?
Bless my fool spirit, I never thought I'd see that again.
Anders there? Can I speak to Anders?
You can stop yelling. It's always me.
Oh, good. I didn't want to talk to that other guy. You know, the stick in the mud.
He can still hear you. Justice and I are one. Anyway, you wanted to talk to me?
Not really. I just wanted to make sure it was you.
I have all... the finest Antivan merchandise.
My. If it isn't Hawke.
Good to see you again, Elegant.
Lady Elegant, if you don't mind. I'm a married woman now. Last time we met, you were still in Athenral's employ. Things have been going well since then?
Could be better. Could be worse.
I often feel the same way. You may recall I sometimes provided potions for Athenral. I'd be willing to extend you the same courtesy if you like. All I ask is you inform me of any interesting reagents you find. In exchange, I'll approach my contacts on your behalf. And of course you'll need the appropriate recipes, such as this one. Free, for old time's sake.
Gather round, all. I bring you a priceless treasure. From the highest heights of Mount Davros it's travelled. A pouch of Andraste's ashes. Verified by the scholar Genitivi, these ashes cure any ailment and provides virility in more intimate matters. Do I have a volunteer?
I'll try.
Just a small pinch, Sirrah. There you go.
My cough. It's gone.
Cured by the Maker himself.
That's enough. Clear out, you charlatans. Every coin those swindlers nab goes straight to the carter's coffers. They must be stopped. Shivers just standing here.
Don't get stabbed again. Buy armor today.
Hey, this the one that rescued me from them dragons. A fellow for Eldon, no less.
1,000 thanks for saving Jansen's worthless hide.
Worthless, am I? My farm supplied eggplant to half of the South Reach.
Yeah? My eggplant supplied half the bastards in South Reach.
Oh, you're a real hero. Now what brings you here?
Shuffle off to the mine and let me finish those pints for you.
Come back to that blight taking hold? I need work, but I don't need to be some dragon's dinner. What if there's more dragons later? Or something worse like, bigger dragons?
I go back to the missus without this job. She'll rip me apart sure as any dragon.
What can we do? That bastard Hubert is the only one willing to hire us.
I own half the mine now. I'll keep it safe.
Really? Oh, be nice to work for one of our own. If you don't give us a fair shake, who would? Back to work, boys. I'm happy to take more of Hubert's coin.
Who are you looking at?
Not a step closer. No refunds on the ashes, friend. If the Maker doesn't favor you, that's between you and him, isn't it? Don't say I
Goodness, that was exciting.
Good to see you again, my dear. He's in the
My
force
cousin
there.
said he might have a job for you. Thought you should know.
Did he? I'll have to speak with him soon. Thank you.
I didn't think you'd come. I'll find something relatively clean for you to sit on. Can I get you something to eat or drink? I have water.
I came here to see you, Meryl. You don't have to fuss over me.
You're so kind. My first guest, and I'm already a terrible host. I wanted to thank you for bringing me here, but I'm making a mess of it.
I'm sure I could think of a better way for you to thank me.
And I'm sure that I'm acting like a fool. I haven't exactly had many friends. Not even among my own clan. This is... tricky.
What made you unpopular with the Dalish?
Being first to the Keeper, I was always a bit secluded. I studied magic and history while the others were learning the Via Tanadal. It's good that I left. I'd have made a terrible Keeper. I was never that good with people.
You seem to be getting the hang of it already.
I'm glad you think so. Thank you for coming to visit me, Hawke. It means a lot to me. By the dread wolf! Why is my house always such a mess when people are here? It's clean sometimes, I swear.
I am sorry for your loss, mistress. But I can offer your son mercy only if he turns himself in.
I'm trying to find him, but...
The Templars cannot tolerate apostates.
Can we help this woman? This could be Mother.
It sounds like your son is in trouble. Is there anything I can do?
You heard all of that and still you would help? An apostate? Oh, thank you. I am Ariane. My boy, Fainriel. He's all I have. All my family. When I learned he had magic, I could not bear to send him to the Circle. But his connection to the Fade, it gives him nightmares. Dreams of demons speaking in his mind. I would rather lose him to the Circle than to himself.
What kind of dreams is he having?
He dreams of demons, crawling to him, pulling him into their world. Every day, it grows harder to wake him. That is why I turn to the Circle. They are the only ones that can protect a mage from his own powers.
Did your son run away?
He learned I had contacted Sir Thrask. He felt I betrayed his trust. He thinks he can live free of the Circle. But I am afraid without proper training, he'll kill himself.
Those look like Dalish tattoos. Why do you live in the city?
I was born to the Dalish, but came to Kirkwall for a time and dallied with a human merchant, Vincento. When I found I was with child, neither Vincento nor my tribe wished the burden of an elf-blooded human infant. I raised Fainriel myself, here in the alienage.
Tell me the whole story.
I learned years ago that my son likely had magical talent, but we could not bear the thought of him locked in the gallows. So we hid. When the nightmares began, Fainriel still refused to contact the Circle. But I truly think they are the only people who might save his life.
What exactly do you need me to do?
Just find him, please. Bring him somewhere safe. I don't know where Fainriel is gone, but there are 2 places you might start your search. Sir Thrask has been looking for him. If you speak to him in the gallows, he'll be able to tell you what ground he's already covered. And Fainriel's father, Vincento, recently returned from Antiva. He's a merchant in the Lowtown Bazaar. Fainriel might have sought him out.
Tell me about this Templar.
I believe he's a good man. He doesn't hate mages, but sees what it took me too long to realize. Even the best-intentioned mages are at the mercy of their sleeping minds. There are other Templars who are much less sympathetic.
You and Fainriel's father are not married?
Vincento had no desire for a wife or an elf-blooded child. I haven't seen him since the day I told him. I have written, though, to keep him informed about his child. Fainriel wanted to meet him.
I will not leave you fearful for a moment longer than necessary.
Magic can be a fearful gift. Your son deserves the best aid learning how to manage it.
Thank you. It has been a lonely time hiding. It's almost a relief to finally confront this openly.
How is your wife doing? Still recovering?
The weakness comes and goes, but I'm hoping for the best. Thank you for asking.
Question.
Did he have a little sword or just his claws? I bet he had a dashing cap with a feather in it.
Would you stop making fun of my cat?
Oh, no hat then.
Have you anything to spare?
The thieves are gone, guardsman.
Did you say something? I didn't hear you. And clumsy me. I seem to have dropped a coin purse in your hand.
Greetings, Sarah. You look like a man who'd be interested in the finest Antivan steel to grace his hand. I bring only the best northern merchandise to the free marches.
Actually, I'm more interested in your son.
Son? I have never had that privilege, Sarah. My poor wife, she's back in Antiva and cannot see me often with my travels.
Please, Sarah. I know you must fear for Fainriel, but we mean him no harm.
Hard to tell in this city who means who harm, no?
Perhaps you can set his mind at ease.
We are no Templars, Sarah. You'll find no better friend to a young, scared mage.
Maldición, you are a mage. I suppose you'd be kind then to a boy who resists being taken in by Templars?
Of course.
The boy's in over his head. So I sent him to the only man I know who doesn't despise mages. A former Templar named Samson.
Why would a Templar help him?
His conscience plagues him, having served the Templars too long. He now helps mages on the run. He stays out of sight during the day. At night, he stays near Darktown. That's the best place to find him.
There you are. I don't let anyone who cross me get this big in this town. On him, lads.
You've got to regret it! Run! While you can! There you are!
Old Vincento said someone might come sniffing around. You're looking for the boy, right? Feign something. I'll tell you now, there's not much I can do for you.
I'm looking for a retired Templar named Samson.
Retired. Sounds better than burned-out husk of a Templar begging coins in the choke damp. They don't do anything to keep you, you know. You join the Order, you're free to walk away. But they're the only ones who got the dust.
The dust?
Lyrium, an ore the dwarves mine. Magic in its raw form. You need to drink the stuff to face down the magicers. Problem is, if you ever try to stop, it just about kills you.
Is it true you give aid to apostates fleeing the Templars?
The mages I help, they're no more than children, newly discovered their magic and terrified. Barely left their mother's skirts, and now we're saying they got to be locked away for their own good. That demons are hunting them. Do you wonder they run?
Just looking at you, I'd say you're a man who helps anyone for the right price.
What kind of price?
How's this?
Right. The lad came to me, not a silver in his pockets. Told him there's nothing I can do for him.
I pity any mage who is forced to rely on you for protection.
I pointed him to a ship captain I know, Rayner. Sometimes he'll take on runaways. Took another apostate last week, girl I sent him. Might have gone wrong though. I heard rumors he took the both of them captive instead.
If Fainreal's not in one piece when I find him, I'm coming after you next.
Rein it in, friend. Was just trying to do the lad a good turn. Rumor has it, Rayner had the pair of them locked inside a Keys warehouse, somewhere close to dockside. You want to go looking, you might find the lad before he gets ransomed to the Templars. Or worse. Rayner's not the patient type. I'd hurry if you want to reach them.
The rusty metal spike district, my favorite part of town. Can we leave now?
Demons. Summoned by another mage, no doubt.
Someone's left a surprise here for us.
Easy as pie. Good to go.
That ring looks Orlesian.
A severed hand, a ring, and a pile of bones. Emmerich will want to see this. And I should bring the ring to Ghislaine. It might belong to Nanette.
Bugger off!
Got you now!
You happy now?
Get a hold of her!
Please, help me. Anyone.
Get the hands! I heard they can't do no spells without hands.
You know nothing of magic.
That poor girl. Who do you suppose she was? We should see if there's anything here to identify her.
Bugger off!
to linger.
Nice running, if I were you!
Making the world
Victory!
a better place, one enemy at a time.
You all right?
Want the best? Take it from the worst. Then sell to specialists like you. Always willing to give a discount to the people who save my skin. You find things, you sell things. The tricky bit is placement.
Everyone stay still and try not to make any loud noises.
You're such a slave driver.
Certainly your people have stories about the Dalish, no?
My people?
The elves in Tevinter. They must have heard of us.
They've heard. They just don't care.
But if they run away, the Dalish would help them.
You might as well say. If they flew into the sky, they could live in the clouds.
What would they eat in the clouds? There's nothing there but fluff and the occasional bird.
This is why nobody takes the Dalish seriously.
Why, look here, boys. Volunteers. Clap 'em in irons and let's see what the Tevinters will pay for 'em.
Make him talk.
I can do that.
Andraste's great flaming ass! How did you do that? Never mind, I've stashed the boy in a cave, a smuggler hideout on the Wounded Coast. Tevinters will be by to finish the deal today. Now, can I go?
Sure. Oh, wait. I meant no.
Teach you to mess with a mage! My magic will destroy you!
Looks like they took him to some bolt hole in the Wounded Coast. I wonder if that's near the Injured Cliffs, or the Limping Hills. Massive Head Trauma Bay. No? Just me? Forget I said anything.
Love doing that.
Outsiders think they can change us.
I've heard about the Circle of Magi outside of the Imperium, but I've never been in one. Are you certain it's wise for us to come here, considering who we're with?
Maybe not. But we'll be cautious.
This seems more like a prison. I wonder if it's more effective than the Circle I know.
How is the Imperial Circle of Magi different?
Once upon a time, it was as it is here. The Chantry watched the Magisters closely for any signs of corruption or weakness. Then it changed. The Magisters were permitted to watch over their own, and Templars kept only to enforce the law. What happened next was inevitable. The Magisters rule again, as powerful as they ever were.
You said the Chantry used to watch the Magisters. Why did they stop?
You must remember that the attitude towards magic is different in Tevinter. Magisters came from wealthy families, bloodlines that had nurtured magical talent for countless generations. The Chantry was not trying to control poor peasants, but the scions of the greatest houses in the Imperium.
I thought the Magisters had been thrown down by the Chantry.
On the contrary, Andraste never defeated the Imperium. A great army conquered the south, but not the north. The Magisters eventually surrendered to the Chantry, but they did so on their terms. They kept their influence. Thus, they reclaimed what they lost over the centuries. Some battles are lost by inches.
You talk about the Magisters as if they are all evil.
I have no doubt that some are good and noble men, strong enough to resist temptation. But how many temptations do you wish to offer a man before he will give in? Blood magic is everywhere in Tevinter, from the lowliest apprentice up to the Archon himself.
You can't have seen this for yourself.
Daenerys talked about it often. Of course, they say it's forbidden. Behind the smiles and closed doors, however, it's a different matter. To be a Magister in Tevinter is to be glorious. To be a powerful Magister in Tevinter, that is worth any price.
You're saying the same thing could happen here?
If the mages were permitted to be their own watchers, of course. It is too easy for a mage to resort to blood magic if they feel the need is great enough.
As easy as it is to resort to a sword. You were created as a living weapon. Should you not be trusted with your freedom?
My powers are not controlled by a demon. A mage can desire power, justice, revenge, protection. Any cause will do, and then they are lost.
You're saying that locking mages up is better?
All I am saying is the Imperium offers no answer. All that Andraste did long ago to end the tyranny of magic has been undone.
She ended the tyranny of magic and replaced it with an entirely new one.
Considering all that magic has done to my homeland and my race, I weep for your predicament. Power corrupts, as they say, and mages have power enough already.
You said the Chantry used to watch the Magisters. Why did they stop?
You must remember that the attitude towards magic is different in Tevinter. Magisters came from wealthy families, bloodlines that had nurtured magical talent for countless generations. The Chantry was not trying to control poor peasants, but the scions of the greatest houses in the Imperium.
I thought the Magisters had been thrown down by the Chantry.
On the contrary, Andraste never defeated the Imperium. A great army conquered the south, but not the north. The Magisters eventually surrendered to the Chantry, but they did so on their terms. They kept their influence. Thus, they reclaimed what they lost over the centuries. Some battles are lost by inches.
You talk about the Magisters as if they are all evil.
I have no doubt that some are good and noble men, strong enough to resist temptation. But how many temptations do you wish to offer a man before he will give in? Blood magic is everywhere in Tevinter, from the lowliest apprentice up to the Archon himself.
According to everything I've seen, the Circle can't control mages anyhow.
And what is the alternative? Freedom is a noble ideal, but I see no oppression here. I see fear and danger. But enough. I'm sure we came here for a reason. Did I hear correctly? You are an abomination.
Why don't you shout? I don't think everyone heard you.
Do you see yourself as harmless then? An abomination who would never harm anyone?
Like ripping someone's heart out of his chest?
I did that at the behest of no demon.
So we agree that it doesn't take a demon for someone to be a vicious killer. Good.
Don't get stabbed again. Buy armor today.
never let us past here.
Check your purse. I think you lost something.
You found it? By the void, I didn't think... Thank you.
This isn't right. I alphabetized the potions yesterday.
Welcome back to Souls, my friend. Ah, welcome, my dear friend, to Sol's shop. My name is Thedas. Please, take a look around. My apologies in advance. Our shelves are a bit bare at the moment. Actually, if you're interested, I could use a bit of help to remedy that.
How can I help?
It's been too dangerous to leave the city of late, and the substances I require for my creations are, of course, elsewhere. Perhaps you could find them. You'll be compensated for your time, have no fear. I'll also give you first pick of my new creations.
Make up a list of what you need, and I'll keep an eye out for you.
Perfect. A discount on everything in the shop, Sirrah. Thank you, my friend. Only one thing on the list left to find. Ah, my young friend. How goes the search?
We have found neither hide nor hair of the lad, Fainreal. I can only think he has fallen victim to demons or slavers.
I found this. It was addressed to you. It seems to be from your daughter.
My daughter? Then... you know what she is. How she died. When I traced her to that warehouse, I should have forced her into the circle. My own weakness in the face of her pleas is what destroyed her. It is why I urged Ariani not to give in when Fainreal wished to hide. If only I had been so strong for Olivia.
Well, at least you don't have to worry about the Templars finding out anymore.
Thank you. She is at peace now. I would not wish to see her name smeared while her ashes are still warm.
Recognize your mage?
You're horrible.
This was left in the foundry you mentioned in your notes. I was also attacked by shades.
These are human bones. Then there is no chance of finding Meren alive, or any of the others.
I saw someone leaving the scene, but they got away. I'm sorry.
It was more than I accomplished. I will bring this to the city guard immediately. It should be enough to convince them the disappearances are worth investigating.
Do you know a recruit named Karen? His sister is looking for him.
We cannot speak to you, Messer.
To the void with that. Karen and the others are missing.
But our orders...
The Knights aren't doing anything to find them. Maybe it's time to ask for outside help.
I wasn't even certain Karen was missing. Who else is gone?
The first ones disappeared weeks ago. There's been at least half a dozen. Wilmot and Karen were the most recent.
Why must you keep silent about Karen?
You obviously aren't a Templar, Monsieur.
A Knight Lieutenant gives you an order, and you obey, without question. They told us not to breathe a word about Karen and the others.
They must have their reasons.
And that'll be a great comfort if you go missing next.
You can trust me. I'm only trying to keep Karen safe.
I hear that Knight Commander Meredith has some new initiation you have to go through. If you're not strong enough or fervent enough in belief, you don't make it out alive. Seems to me a weak Templar would die just as quickly.
And you honestly believe that?
Recruits keep going missing.
Wilmot came back.
What?
He did. I saw him this morning.
What else do you know about the initiation?
You hear about some... questionable things that the Order must do these days. The Knight Commander only wants Templars that can do... what must be done.
Andraste alive. She's killing recruits that might question her orders, isn't she?
That's rubbish. She wouldn't do that.
If Wilmot came back, he might know more about the other missing recruits.
I bet he would.
Wilmot told me he was going outside Kirkwall. Clear his head, he said.
Why didn't you tell us this?
Knight Captain Cullen ordered it, right before he chased after Wilmot. That wasn't too long ago. If you hurry, you may catch them on the road. In these trying
Please
times,
find
the
Wilmot.
Knight Commander is doing what
Find out
she
what they're doing to the recruits.
The sooner you all leave this place.
And a run at Tishan, stranger.
If you're wise, you'll stay far.
I believe you lost this somewhere.
A strange turn. Thank you.
May the Dread Wolf never hear your footsteps, child.
You've returned. Is there something you need? Are you a specialist? What sort of things do you make? A Dalish crafter does many things. We create weapons, armor, anything our clan has need of.
Do you have any pure iron bark in stock?
What use is iron bark to you? I've never met a Shem who could bend it to his will. Either way, I'm out of stock. I do know where it can be found, but it is impossible to retrieve. Our people were forbidden from venturing to the area after we lost 2 of our best hunters there.
What's the problem? Maybe I can give you a hand dealing with it.
I find it insulting that you think you would succeed where we could not. The place is overrun by darkspawn. If we tried to eradicate them, we would risk the precious few hunters we have left. I'll show you where the area is. What you do with the information is up to you. Don't hold the chisel like that. You'll cut off your thumb. Dalish crafting is second to none, I assure you.
If either of us is likely to cut themselves, it's you.
Andraste be my witness, Wilmot. I will have the truth from you now!
Mercy, sir. Mercy.
Were it that easy?
Don't hit me.
I will know where you're going, and I will know now!
I thought Templars only treated mages this badly. Nice to see you're branching out.
This is Templar business, stranger.
You have struck me the last time, you pathetic human. To me!
Maker preserve us.
This is my favorite time!
I knew he was involved in something sinister. But this... is it even possible?
Do you think he was possessed?
Normally, we only worry that mages will fall victim to possession. I have heard of blood mages or demons in solid form who could summon others into unwilling hosts. But I'd not thought one of our own would be susceptible.
You shouldn't have been out here alone with him.
I am Knight Captain Cullen. I thank you for your assistance. I've been conducting an investigation of some of our recruits who have gone missing. Wilmot was the first to return. I had hoped to confront him quietly, out of sight.
If you didn't know he was possessed, why draw your sword on a recruit?
He'd only been back a few days when he left again secretly. It set off some warning bells. I meant to scare him into a confession. He had to believe my threats were genuine.
The recruits believed that Meredith was conducting some sort of deadly ritual.
What? That's preposterous. Recruits can be worse than a weaving circle with their rumors. There is a vigil before Templars take their arms, but the gravest danger they face is falling asleep.
Do you know what happened to Wilmot while he was gone?
Obviously more than I had anticipated. Wilmot has never been fully convinced of the Order's rules. Mages cannot be our friends. They must always be watched. I thought Wilmot might be meeting with some old friends who'd escaped the Circle.
I've got friends who are mages. Are you saying they need to always be watched as well?
I was at the Circle Tower in Ferelden during the Blight. I saw firsthand how Templars' trust and leniency can be rewarded.
Trust and leniency? Is that what you call it?
I still have nightmares of Uldred's depravities.
I was trying to find another recruit, a friend of Wilmot's. Do you know where Karen is?
He also disappeared. They were last seen together at the Blooming Rose. But I had no luck interrogating the, young ladies there. I doubt they know anything of magic or demons.
I'd be willing to search there.
The Order would truly be in your debt if you helped us with this. No one at the brothel will speak with me for fear I would shut them down for serving our recruits. If you learn what manner of creature did this to Wilmot, please come tell me in the gallows. I will ensure you are rewarded.
safe, Fenris?
No.
You know, some guards give people the opportunity to lie if it will keep the peace.
You can see what I am. Lie to yourself if you must.
Everything on the list. I'll get to work immediately. And of course, here is the reward I promised.
So, you married a Templar, huh?
What of it?
Are they all as dirty as they seem?
What?
Did he ever ask you to play the naughty mage and the hapless recruit? Maybe the secret desire demon and the upstanding knight?
That's disgusting.
I hear it's quite popular.
I convinced the miners to return to work.
Excellent. I knew you would handle those layouts.
Greetings, partner. Business is good.
You ever going to stop harping on the mages here?
No.
They aren't what you saw in Tevinter.
The moment they are free, mages will make themselves magisters.
They're slaves. You should want to help them.
I don't.
Back again? Sure you're not interested in my many, many services?
I'm sorry to say that Ninette was killed.
Killed? Why would anyone hurt that darling woman? This is horrible. Thank you for letting me know. Please excuse me.
Do you need something, honey?
You don't work here, do you? With the customers?
You're no prize yourself, sweetheart. Is there something you want?
A couple of Templar recruits went missing. They were last seen here.
You'll have to be more specific. We do a lot of business with the Templars.
Perhaps a few coins can loosen your lips.
Are you trying to bribe me? You know, not all the girls here are for sale. I'm going to pretend that didn't happen.
The Templars are the ones who want this information.
We make a lot of our money off of nervous Templars that expect some privacy.
I'll be discreet.
Let me look through the books. Wilmot, Karen... Here we go. Wilmot came in here a lot. You sure he had time to be a Templar? The both of them last saw Iduna, the exotic wonder from the east.
That's quite the stage name.
It sounds better than the tramp from Darktown. You should hear what some of the others are called.
Is there anything else you can tell me?
Honey, I could write volumes on the things I know. Unless you want Wilmot's favorite position, I think you have what you need. You didn't hear any of this from me. We clear?
Get outside, you lazy thing. You'll ruin my business.
Iduna, right? Do you remember entertaining a Templar named Wilmot a few weeks ago? Or Karen?
Wilmot. Wilmot. That doesn't sound familiar.
Do your clients like this charade? It must get dreadfully tiresome.
Whatever do you mean? Questions are boring. Why don't we have some real fun?
Hawke, go easy on this lovely creature.
You should listen to your friend.
We have to ask her about Karen. What's your problem?
Yes, yes. But certainly there's no harm mixing a little business and pleasure.
As charming and relentless as you are, I'm here to investigate.
Answer one of my questions first. Who told you about little old me?
It was Vivica. She showed me her books.
That wasn't so hard, was it? So, Vivica sold me out, did she? That drab, pathetic little sewer rat. She will be dealt with. Just do one more thing for me. Draw your blade and bring it gently across your throat.
Bethany, stop her!
Let go of my brother!
How did you... Oh, shit. Spare me, Messere.
What foul magic was that?
Blood and desire in equal measure. An art I learned from... elsewhere.
Blood magic, then?
Yes, Messere. Please don't kill me.
You're going to answer all my questions, and if there's even a hint of magic...
Tirani put me here, to send biddable Templar recruits to the Sanctuary. Three Spear Alley in the Undercity. I enchanted Wilmot and Karen weeks ago. But after they left these walls, I know not what came of them. Please, let me live. It's not my fault. It was all Tirani's idea.
Tell me about Tirani.
She put me up to this.
She said we can recreate the ancient Imperium. That mages can rule again, not serve. She says the Templars cannot hold against us if we stand up and fight.
This base of yours, how many other mages are there? Any other defenses?
People go in and out all the time. Sometimes a handful, sometimes more. There are traps. Magical traps. There's a hidden switch at the front. It turns them off. That's all I know.
The Templars are coming for you. No more of your tricks.
Next up, the Sanctuary. And some answers.
Ferelden, are you? We are not a charitable organisation, Sirrah. If you cannot pay, you will have to take your lonely self elsewhere. Is that clear?
Wait. What exactly are you paying for? I was busy trying not to touch anything in here.
2 sovereigns for premium service, 1 sovereign for standard service. 50 silver and someone may touch you. Briefly.
I'm not interested.
Of course you aren't. Poverty had nothing to do with your decision, I'm sure.